The firefighters of New York City are called New York's bravest, and they certainly lived up to that description on 9/11. 343 of them died on that dark day, including the department's #1 man in uniform. I was privileged to meet recently with his extraordinary family.
I'm never not smiling when I'm coming to work.
Chris Ganci's firehouse is in Flatbush, Brooklyn, just a few miles away from his older brother Pete's firehouse in Bed-Stuy. At home away from home, huh?
Yeah, this is definitely home away from home.
Chris is proud to say his company sees more action than any other firehouse in New York City. Except for maybe his brother Pete's, the legendary Engine 214, Ladder 111.
Helmet's a little dusty.
Yep. Their father, Peter Ganci, bravely fought fires here a lifetime ago, before he became the highest-ranking firefighter to die on 9/11.
That's where the void is all these things we want to share with them. It's so funny because, like, Pete will catch a good job or I'll catch a good job, and the first thing that goes through your head is, oh, I can't wait to call Dad.
Chief of Department Peter Ganci directed the rescue of over 25,000 people out of the burning World Trade Towers from a temporary command post on West Street.
Like a lot of people whose family was in it, I know to the exact second where he was killed, so I try not to really go back to, it's like ripping a scab off an open wound constantly.
After barely surviving the collapse of Tower 2, Chief Ganci returned to his men to give them the order to evacuate Tower 1.
They found him around 3:30 in the afternoon. They had the general vicinity of where he was. He was where the command post was originally for the, it was between the buildings, between the North and South Tower.
Chief Ganci's remains were recovered hours later beneath the rubble, along with the radio that sent his last command. Less than a year after proudly joining his father in the fire department, Pete and his family had to say goodbye.
It becomes tough because very quickly the memory fades, and you miss his voice. So,
yeah. So much stuff has happened, in my life between now and then. I mean, we all got married, we all got kids now. I wasn't a fireman. I wasn't anywhere near being a fireman when he was killed.
Chris was well on his way to a career in pharmaceutical sales and a graduate degree when his life changed course.
A week after I graduated from NYU with my MBA, I started the New York City Fire Department. 9/11 was such a dark, such a dark time and period of my life, everything that revolved around it. This was the first, ray of sunshine that I had in my life.
and then when you're done, I like to talk to, I like to, guys going out.
Yep. Never gets old, huh?
No, not at all. It's always fun.
In the brotherhood and shared sacrifice of New York's bravest, Pete and Chris feel closest to their father.
Not only am I a fireman, in his eyes, I'm a brother, because that's how we refer to each other on this job.
There's not a day goes by that I don't think about my father. I think about him when I go to work. I think about him when I hug my kids. I think about him when I'm trying to fix something in my house. I think about what he would do or where he is right now. If he's proud of me, if he's proud of Pete. I'm pretty sure he is. I hope he is,
You have any keepsakes from your dad?
Yeah, I typically, a few keepsakes, and I keep them close. That's why they're on the inside of my pocket. They're as close to my heart as I can really keep them.
The mass card that Pete carries in his fire coat is creased and worn, but it's a sign of a father's bond so deep and so strong, it can never be broken.
I always say a little prayer, and I always ask him, just watch over me, watch over Pete, watch over us, watch over the brothers here. Make sure we all get home safe to our families. That's the most important thing.
And Chris and Pete Ganci are now focused on the next step in their careers, trying to earn a promotion to lieutenant. And they keep putting their lives on the line every day, just as their dad did. And they always said their dad was a fireman's fireman. He was just a blue-collar guy who wore the blue shirt and was just one of the greatest guys the FDNY has had. He's just a really good man.
And clearly was an incredible guy, because you look at his children.
Yeah.
And what a legacy.
Wonderful guys, and they've got such a huge family. And the one thing that I was able to take away, the one thing that their father instilled in them, and he always said, and he used to give this speech to the probies for graduation every year, he said, you're never ever going to be rich, but you're always going to be happy. Mm-hmm. And when someone comes up to you and says, what do you do for a living? You're going to be able to look them in the eye with pride and say, I'm a New York City firefighter.
Absolutely.
And that's something that has stayed with them for years.